Hello everyone and welcome back to Koiken Otome. It's time for round 2 of the match Team Akane versus Team Eve, so let's continue. Akane and I step up into the ring before Eve and Sada finish their preparations.
Seiichi, arigatou.
What's with you all of a sudden?
Seiichi no okage de koko made koreta.
Oh, stop it. The victor hasn't even been decided yet.
それはそうだな。ところで、
Akane's cheeks blush and she looks at me sincerely.
さっき試合開始前の増幅が切れてしまったようなのだ。
Amplification? Oh, wait, it did? The secret kisses I exchanged with Kamishiro and Akane before the match. The effects are already gone? You should tell me these things before we enter the ring.
仕方ないではないか。今になって気がついたのだから。
Should we step out for a second? No, that would be too conspicuous, huh? In the moment, Eve's group begins to enter the ring. Crap, there's no time.
もう覚悟を決めるしか。
With a stern expression, she grabs my shoulders.
聖一、すまない。
Akane's face is getting super close.
何してますの？
Eve's panicked voice can be heard from across the ring. But none of that matters. The only thing I can think about is how Akane's tongue is searching the inside of my mouth for my own. Akane finally lets go and smiles with a hint of deviousness.
さっきは聖一から舌を入れられたからな。お返しだ。
Oh. I can only nod idiotically.
よし、これで準備も万端だ。いつでもいいぞ、イブ。準備？今のが準備ですの？今までも毎回あんなことを試合の前にしてきたんですの？毎回じゃないぞ。今日が初めてだ。合宿の時に大場の大気パワーは確かに目の当たりにしましたけれど、他にもやりようがあったのではなくて、私たちもリングに向かいますわよ、サダ。
了解です、夕姫。
Eve and Sada also enter the ring.
覚悟はよろしいかしら、安君に。ああ、もちろんだとも。
Eve is brimming with frustration and Akane calmly replies. Let's finally come to this. These two will finally get to resolve their dispute. My heart feels like it's going to explode. Somewhere along the way, I began to look forward to this fight against Eve.
大場も覚悟はできていますわよね。
Yes, of course. But that aside, I cast my gaze over to Sada, who had just entered the ring. It looks like it's taking all you've got just to stand.
なんのこれしき、夕姫のためならまだまだ。
That final attack on Sada by Akane just before the end of the first round must be taking its toll. Sada's knees are trembling. It might even be possible to take out Sada if we focus on him. But of course, we wouldn't want to do anything to sully the fight that we have with Eve. If the opposition doesn't focus solely on me, then we shouldn't focus solely on Sada. Eve, I'll tell you one thing. We will not prioritize Sada.
奇遇だな、聖一。ちょうど私もそう言おうと思ってたところだ。なんですって？そんな遠慮は結構ですわ。そちらも第1ラウンドで配慮してくれた。だからそのお返しだ。情けは無用。来るなら全力で来なさい。情けなどではない。これは私のわがままだ。イブと全力で戦いたいという。靖国。
両チーム、所定の配置についてください。
As the referee commanded, we stand in the middle of the ring.
それでは第2ラウンド始め。
サダ、あなたは後ろに下がってなさい。ここからは私一人で相手しますわ。
ですが向こうは2人ですぜ。
いいから私の言うことを聞きなさい。もしあなたが倒れたらその時点で私のチームは負けなのですわ。
それはわかりました。イブ姫がそうおっしゃるなら自分はその通りにするまでです。
あと後方からの援護も無用。せっかくの靖国たちとの戦い、誰の邪魔などさせるものですか。イブ、さあ来なさい2人とも。どこまで成長したかこの私に見せなさい。行くぞ聖一、一気に決める。
Hand in hand with Akane, we take off towards Eve.
まったくバカの一つ覚えみたいに。イノシシですの。正々堂々私の全てをぶつける。ですがそういうところ嫌いじゃありませんけどね。
Fireworks scatter as Eve and Akane's swords and Doryoku clash. The clash of these legendary swords is quite a fascinating sight to behold. However, ever so gradually, Akane is getting pushed back. The massive bulk of iron that is Akane's Homura Kotona Osame. Eve's almost brittle-looking rapier ruse. No matter how you look at it, it would seem like Akane has the upper hand, but when Doryoku is in the equation, it's no simple matter. Akane lets go of my hand and braces both arms on her sword. To prevent any interruption in amplification, I move in and lock arms with her.
大場の力を借りてもそんなものですの。
A sweat breaks on Akane's forehead. Damn, aside from hugging her waist, what else can I do? Almost unconsciously, I begin waving my nameless sword at Eve with my free hand.
あら、
With a surprised expression, Eve tilts her head and dodges my swings.
ようやく気がつきましたのね。増幅以外の体の使い方に。
She looks a little happy as she shouts that. Eve lets out a yell, deflects Akane's greatsword, and distances herself.
その調子ですわ。2人とも全力を尽くして、それでこそ。
Akane, let's do it! Two bodies as one, dual wielding style!
それはずいぶん曲芸じみているな。
Akane smiles, and I smile in return. Let's go! Akane and I synchronize our breathing and dive in.
まだまだ全然呼吸が合っていないですわ。
Eve takes our swords head on and grins broadly.
やった！
Uria! Arra! Akane's sword stops the blow and I come in at Eve from the side. I insert a feint to grab Eve's attention and Akane follows up with another strike. Despite not having rehearsed, Akane and I are perfectly in sync, performing a veritable storm of attacks on Eve.
そう、それでこそ2人を相手にした意味がありますわ。
Eve seems quite happy while she swiftly deals with both of our attacks.
悔しいが、私一人ではイブにはかなわないからな。これでようやく一人分だ。
Akane's entire body expresses how happy she is. The face double S, Eve, and the original face SC Akane. If they had wanted to fight each other head on, the victor would have been obvious. However, with my assistance, those two are able to fight in earnest.
チャンバラごっこもここまでですわ。
Eve deftly steps back and distances herself from us. A vine appears from her sword and hits the ground with a resounding thud.
行きますわよ、靖国。望むところだ。
As if in unison, Akane's Homura Kotona Osame becomes dressed in flames. A moment of silence. The two glare at each other. Finally, they take off.
スピリットボルグ！
Eve strikes with her vines like a whip. With her life-type Doryoke maximizing the hardness of her vines, getting a solid hit from it would result in injury at the least.
Legendary fire!
However, the giant fireballs that Akane unleashes burn away the vines.
やりますわね。ですが、このくらいでは終わりませんことよ。
Instantly, new vines sprout from a sword guard.
ツタがここにも。
Countless vines spring up and begin to entwine our feet.
くらいなさい。
The cloth on Akane's right shoulder is ripped bare. For sure, Eve's reinforced vine whip is powerful indeed. Are you okay, Akane?
平気。このくらい。
Akane grits her teeth with her face twisted, bearing the pain. I cut down all of the vines surrounding me and free myself. I charge at Eve, preventing her from targeting Akane.
愚かですわ。オーバー。
Her vine whip flies at me. Whoa! I strike down more vines holding me back and sprint at Eve. Deria! I forcefully swing my sword down from a raised position.
以前にも増してとても良い立ち筋をしていますこと。おそらくあれから相当鍛錬を積んだのですね。
Pretty much. I strike in conjunction with my reply.
聖地援護するぞ。
Akane, blazing Homura Kotana Osama in hand, closes in on Eve and resumes her attack.
合宿の時の特訓を思い出しますわね。
There are some good memories there, but also some bitter ones. We weren't the match for Eve in any one of our fights.
もっとも今は手加減なしの本気ですわ。スピリットボルフ。
A large tree bursts from the ground and surrounds Eve like a shield. It blocks all of Akane's fireballs. Not only that, plants creep up above the ring and limit our mobility. Gah! A vine wraps around my limbs and squeezes them like a vice.
聖地今助けるぞ。
Akane's fire envelops me and tears down the ivy. Thanks to that, I'm able to move freely again. Thanks, Akane!
気にするな。もう一度、いや、何度でもイブを倒すまでは引いてはならない。
Right, of course. In spite of my reply, honestly, we've got our hands full just trying to stay mobile. But if I mention anything like that, Eve's victory would be assured. No matter what, we have to dig in hard. For a moment, my mind suddenly drifted.
聖地。
Eh? As soon as Akane's desperate voice reaches me, I realize that Eve's rapier point is right before my eyes. Whoa! Akane ramps into me with her shoulder and pushes me sideways. But that resulted in... Eve's rapier rips into Akane's left arm and blood spurts into the air. Akane!
大丈夫だ。あら、大場は体力切れかしら。まだまだですわね。
Eve coldly looks over at me. Ugh. If it weren't for the damage I sustained from Shijo's group, I would be more nimble. In a real battle, things like that are only excuses. I know that fair and well.
イブは知らないが、聖地は頑張っている。
Akane glares at Eve while holding back an open wound.
結果の伴わない努力は何の価値もない。私もあなたもそんなことは痛いほど分かっているのではなくて。
Akane bites her lip in frustration. Shit, Eve is right. I'm weak, and I got in Akane's way. I need to do something to help Akane attain victory. But how? I see. I nod when I remember something important. It was Sada and Kobayashi's status from last round. Their combination techniques were powerful, however, they were also too much to handle and could not be controlled easily. Akane, for just a second, I'm going to create an opening. You finish it off. I tell her in a soft voice, and she looks back at me puzzled.
聖地、一体何を。
Let's do this! I leave her question unanswered and charge at Eve. Without deep lens, I can't really do much. I have my nameless sword and my Doryoke amp. I'm pretty much a normal powerless person gunning up against St. David Academy's strongest Doryoke user. Wah!
正気を失いとうとう血迷いましたわね。いいでしょう。まずは大場から立ち上がれなくして差し上げますわ。はあ。
With all her spirit, Eve brandishes her holy sword Rapier Ruse. In doing so, countless poison vines swarm towards me.
スピリッツボルグ。
At the same time, her vine whip comes flying at me too. Its undulating and elastic movements prevent me from predicting its attack. Ugya! I'm only barely able to graze past the first attack, but it is accompanied by sharp pain. I'm not going to lose! I press ever forward, dodging vine after vine.
ものすごい気迫ですわ。
She tries to impede my assault by extending plant growth from around her feet towards me. But I'm going to make it. What? Just a moment before the plants can arrest me, I reach out with my hand and touch her breast. It's only with the very tip of my finger. But that's more than enough. For what purpose?
なんですの？動力が。
It's to amplify her Doryoke and force it out of her control. With a boom, the ground of the ring bursts, and from it sprouts a gigantic ivy.
こんなこと。止まりなさい。
More plants burst forth than I expected, and Eve is bewildered. Come to think of it, I never amplified Eve's Doryoke during training camp. If she had experienced this during training, it probably wouldn't have worked. Now, Akane, get her!
聖一がくれたこのチャンス、無駄にはしないぞ。くれー。
Eve takes the brunt of the entire fireball and lets out a scream of agony.
なかなか考えましたわね。
But the chance is short-lived. A Doryoke user of Eve's caliber is easily able to get things under control.
えー
At Eve's command, the giant plant rustles in unison. It looks like a giant insect to me. And in the next moment... Ugh! Like a giant arm, the ivy strikes me from the side and sends me flying.
聖一。
Don't worry about me. Get her, Akane! Now!
見てろ。絶対に勝ってやる。聖一。
Akane, eyes full with determination, stares down Eve. In that moment, Akane's entire body becomes covered in flames.
これは。
By the way, what is Sada doing at the moment?
ついに見せてくれましたわね、靖国。伝承の剣、穂村琴の納めを発動させた本気のあなたを。
Even though her face is twisted in pain from the fire damage, Eve looks somewhat delighted.
私もようやく全ての力を解放できますわ。伝承者としての力を。
Eve's rapier ruse twinkles and the light grows to envelop her entire body.
行くぞ、イブ。どっちが勝ってもこれが最後だ。
Akane also prepares for her final attack and raises her Doryoke to its highest levels.
ええ、そうですわね。どちらが立っていられるか勝負。
At essentially the same moment, Akane and Eve both attempt to unleash their power.
はあ。
Around Akane's body is a red aura, visibly showing an overflow of Doryoke. She exhibited this once during the selection tournament match against Ota's team, but this is even fiercer. She also went berserk that time and wasn't able to control the Holy Sword's power. But this time is different. With the amount of training and real battles she's experienced, Akane has matured. Now, she won't be led astray by the Holy Sword's power. She can unleash a legendary attack.
はあ。
On the other side, Eve is similarly bathed in a green aura. In effect, Eve's Doryoke is also amplified to higher levels than usual, thanks to me. Like Akane, she's also splendidly activating the power of her holy sword. What Eve is about to unleash is surely a legendary attack as well. A clash between two legendary figures. This unprecedented event is happening right before my very eyes.
イブ、私はお前に感謝しきれないほど感謝してるぞ。だか からこそ答えたいのだ。イブ・エレイン・オースティンをこの手で打ち倒すことで。まったくあなたはいつもいつも本当に世話が焼けますわ。私のたった一人の親友靖国茜、この思いに全力で応えてみなさい。
They both grin at each other and yell at the top of their lungs.
レジェンダリーファイヤースピリットフォルグ。
The fire drake fired from Akane's Homura Koiken Otome grits up against a colossal golden tree. Not to be bested, the colossal golden tree that exploded from Eve's rapier ruse pushes back against the fire drake. This showdown between two legendary forces will go down in history. It's truly an unreal spectacle to behold. Still, there's only one person I'm rooting for to win. Do it, Akane! As if reacting to my shout, the fire drake roars stronger. The fire drake opens its mouth wide and rips the colossal golden tree to shreds. The tremendous, thunderous roaring and maelstrom of light saturates the surroundings. Soon, the ringing in my ears subsides and my vision clears. Akane stands proud and tall. Eve has collapsed. It's not just Eve. Sada was also pulled in and the surrounding walls destroyed.
そこまで聖デビッド学園は全員ダウンにより試合続行不可能。勝者頭森学園。
Yay! The crowd bursts into cheers. Yuzu is crying. Jin, Shiharu and Kaoru are all hugging each other, screaming something or another. Ota's team are also pumping their fists in the air. Fujishima-sensei is nodding quietly while Misa-sensei is jumping up and down like a little kid. My eyes meet with Toko's and she smiles gently. Wow, we really did win.
勝ったぞ。あのイブに勝ったんだ。聖一。
Yeah, Akane did a great job. At long last, I can also just collapse. Akane is the first thing I see when I come to. She looks as if she's about to cry. Next time on Koiken Otome. Thanks for watching everyone, and have a nice day. Bye bye.